friends. Welcome to Intuitive Goddess Tarot 911. I'm Jenny. Welcome in or welcome back. So I thought we'd come out and do an energy reading, and I did get a couple of intuitive downloads, but I think we'll wait and see if they're going to be part of the reading. However, this card kept falling out in reverse, so it's roots in reverse. So before I get ahead of myself, there was some guy leaving comments, negative comments, on the channel, in the comments, and you know, I mean, dude, like, I know I don't always say if it resonates, great. If it doesn't resonate, leave the rest or whatever, like all the other tarot people that do. I guess I kind of assume that if you're on this channel, you know that if this is your reading, this is your reading. But if it's not, then it's not too. You know what I mean? So, I don't know. Don't come at me with your negative comments, because and saying, I forget what the comment was, but it was something derogatory. Eat it, lady. That's what this person said. The other thing I want to say is your negative comments just help the channel grow, because more people are interested in the channel. So it's a win-win for me. So whatever. I mean, keep up the negative comments. I'm just saying, I want to preface this reading with, if it resonates, great, but if it doesn't, then just leave it. It's not for you. It's not your reading. The other thing I want to say is, you know, I read tarot and I say she, he, whatever, but honestly, there's no gender in tarot, so I say he and she because it's more comfortable for me, but flip it, switch it, do whatever you need to do if that's the issue, if that's what you're getting hung up on to make the reading fit. So on that note, thank you so much. By the way, we are up to over 200 subscribers, which is huge for me. So yay! So thank you guys so much. I appreciate you so much. Even you, guy that made the negative comment. So let's get into it and see what is going on about this roots in reverse. So I hope you guys are amazing. I wasn't on yesterday because I was actually meeting some very special people that I've waited a really long time to meet. So tomorrow night I probably won't be on because I'm going to be working on a painting for a little guy that I know. But I probably will be back on, what's today? Today's Wednesday. I don't know. Maybe I'll have time to get on tomorrow night. We'll see. But anyway. All right. Let's get into this. It's weird that card kept falling out. Every time I would pick it up, the card would be on the ground. So I was like, what the heck? So Spirit, what do we need to know? What's the focus of the reading going to be, and what does it have to do with this roots and reverse? What's it got to do with this roots and reverse? And I really appreciate all of you, just so you know. Queen of Cups is the focus of the reading. Someone in this loving, motherly energy. Someone who's a little bit psychic, a healer. Okay, love it, love it. All right, and then what's the challenge to this? What's the challenge? Ten of Wands. So, okay, so this is where we're headed, so I might as well tell you what the intuitive downloads are. So basically, you, whoever you are, female, male, I don't care. This is a non-gender channel. So, fierce and angelic. It says, treated you like a battery using your energy, and then this person knows you're innocent and you're still taking the heat for what they did. So that's what I got. So it kind of lines up. Here you go, Opie. Like the ball? It kind of lines up with, Queen of Cups, and then Roots in reverse, and then Ten of Wands. Like, somebody wants you to be burdened, whoever you are. But I don't feel like that's where you are, so that's the good thing. So what about the hidden blessing? What's the hidden blessing? Nine of Coins. Luxury, abundance, you kicking ass, you being independent, you surviving all this bullshit that someone tried to put you through. Beautiful. Love it, love it, love it. All right, so let's see. That's Muffy, Garrett's cat. I'm being called to use that pink oracle deck again, so let's do that. So Spirit, what about this fabulous Queen of Cups? Masks. Someone that's hiding their true intentions. What about that? Is it the collective? Rats. I don't think that's you. Insatiable, tendency to hide or conceal, thievery. Yeah. What about Ten of Wands, Spirit? What about Ten of Wands? And yes, we'll get more on it, so we'll have more information, but what about Ten of Wands? Protection. Safeguarding physical and mental strength and resilience, Bear. So maybe this was you, like, just using all your force and your energy to get yourself away from this person. And Roots in reverse is making me think that this was a family member that is no longer a family member. This could be a spouse. We'll see what we get when we get tarot out. What about Bear? Harmony. Balance and harmony, the harmonious working together at different parts, tasks, or people. So you surrounding yourself with like-minded people. Love it. And what about the Nine of Coins? Whoa, that was gonna fly out. Solution, a strategy and an answer found to overcome a problem or challenge. Yeah, I feel like you clocked this person, you figured this out. What about solution? Wise, a revelation of unknown, having knowledge, having experience. Okay. So let's use the Citadel deck to see if we can figure out what is going on with the rats. Oh shoot. All right. So what about the rats and the mask? Because I feel like you're in this Queen of Cups energy. So we'll see what Spirit says. What about mask and rats? The Pilgrim, opportunities and growth. Yeah, I don't know. I have to say personally for me, like over the past even 10 years, you don't realize how much you grow. So sometimes you can't fault people for being douchebags. Let's just put it like that. Because not everybody has the knowledge base to grow. But I mean, it's obvious that you safeguarded yourself against this person. The Witch, experimentation, rebellion. Yeah, I feel like when you figured out what was going on, I feel like you left these people or persons in the past. So what about Bear and harmony? What about that? The Walker, awareness and reflection. Yeah, it's never a bad idea to look at yourself, look at past mistakes, look at how you've hurt other people, look at your responsibility in the situation. Um, and find those people, find your tribe, like you guys. All right, what about the walker? The adventurer, responsibility and expectations. Yeah, this came out before. I feel like this person put a lot on you. And I don't know what happened, but I feel like, and I'm sure it'll come out in the cards somewhere, but I feel like this person placed blame on you. They placed burdens and blame on you. So what about roots in reverse, solution, and wise? What about that? Oh, I can't get the card. The puppeteer. Explanations and apologies. What about that? The forgotten. Missed opportunities, fear of failure. Okay. And what about that? The sleeper. Cause and effect. Clarity. Yeah. I feel like it's possible that you felt like this was a missed opportunity for you, but it feels like you got to a point where apologies were not enough, you know? Where it wasn't, I don't know how to say this, it wasn't conducive to, the whole situation wasn't conducive to your well-being. Especially if this person was like scapegoating you. Alright, let's use the Crow deck and then we'll get into tarot. So what about the Pilgrim and the Witch? What about the Pilgrim and the Witch? Grief. I do feel like this situation caused you a ton of grief. You know, finding out people are not who you think they are is a huge heartbreaker. What about the Walker and the Adventurer? Observation. Interesting. What about that? Upheaval. Yeah, I feel like this is totally what I'm feeling. Like these person or people wanted you burdened, buried, again. This seems to be a common theme. This is Bisky, by the way. And they wanted to watch it. And they probably had their fucking popcorn out. Douchebags. What about grief? We'll get one more for grief since we got two more for that one. Illusion. Interesting. Why illusion, Spirit? Community. Oh. So your grief was the illusion. You actually had a lot of support around you. Maybe you didn't feel like it at the time when these people were forming this, whatever it was, against you, but you did have a lot of, or do and did have a lot of support. So what about the puppeteer, the forgotten, and the sleeper? Distance. Yeah, I do feel like you put distance between you and these people. What about that though? Displacement. In this picture, there is crows and there's trash on the ground. And I feel like you realize that you were probably going to have to trash your life, which we have to do sometimes to get where we're going. But I feel like you knew that that was the way to go. All right. Let's get some tarot. Let's see what the fuck is going on around here. So, Spirit, What do we need to know about this rat and mask? What about that? What about the rat and mask? Five of Swords, ruthlessly winning. Yeah, I feel like this person would not stop. This could have been something that went on for years. This person trying to defame you. And Ten of Swords. Yeah, they were in it to win it. I feel like, I know I said smear campaign, but I feel like it's much bigger than that. I feel like this person would go to anybody that would listen and talk shit about you. And you know, it's funny. People do that kind of stuff and they don't realize that what you're putting out there is what you're receiving. So this person not having anything nice to say to you, always having you on their lips, talking shit to anybody that would listen, they're creating karma for themselves. So what about Bear and Harmony? The Moon. What about the Moon? Seven of Wands, all in and determined. I feel like that's the secret, right? Your survival, these people didn't know who they were dealing with. Let's put it that way. Because even the Queen of Cups can be a force to be reckoned with. And I feel like you were determined to dig yourself out of this hole or whatever this was. And I feel like these people are astonished. So what about solution and wise? What about that? Strength. Yeah. And when this card comes out, strength is not just your average strength. This is like you lifting a fucking car, okay? What about that? Eight of Cups. Stagnant routine. What about that? Two of Coins, setting priorities. Okay. So maybe once this situation was over, maybe you were trying to figure out what to do with your life, trying to figure out what was most important. There's a cup and a plate and a spoon on this card. Maybe you were just trying to, get through the basics. I mean, maybe that's what you had to do after you went through this. What about Two of Coins? Page of Cups, new excitement. Yeah. I feel like this person did not expect you to get out from underneath that Ten of Wands. All right. What's up, OB? So why is this coming out today, Spirit? Why is this coming out today? High Priestess. Decisive intuition. What about that? The Lovers. Okay. So I'm not feeling this as a lover's energy, but that could be because the Lovers, before it was the Lovers, was a euphoric choice. So I feel like this was a decision you knew you had to make in order to survive. What about the High Priestess and the Lovers? King of Cups, peaceful diplomacy. What about that? Page of Swords, strategic solutions. Yeah, I feel like once you realized the situation wasn't going to get any better, you went ahead and you made a plan for yourself. Because obviously, if this isn't working out, the situation is not for you, this person is Five of Swords, Ten of Swords in you, I mean, that's a good sign that you got to get the fuck out of town. So what do we need to know? What else about this past person? Nine of Wands. Okay, what about that? King of Coins. So, King of Coins is secure abundance, but Nine of Wands is like putting all your energy at something. And I'm not feeling like this is a good Nine of Wands. Queen of Cups. What about that? What about the Queen of Cups? Ace of Coins. Okay. So it's possible that you could have been dealing with somebody who had money. And you had to withstand adversity. You had to give it, you basically had to go against this person with all your power. And if it's not about money, then it's about some sort of title, some sort of power. But Ace of Coins and Queen of Cups, I mean, I feel like you tried to be compassionate with this person. What else about the Queen of Cups and Ace of Coins? Eight of Swords. But they did have you doubting yourself. And Nine of Swords. Reliving past trauma. So, Spirit, what is the outcome for this? What is the outcome? Death. What about death? Two of Wands, but it was in reverse. Well, let's see what comes out. I have something to say, but let's wait a minute. What about death and the Two of Wands? Judgment. What about Judgment? Seven of Swords, hidden deceit. Yeah, I feel like it's time for you to speak your truth. I feel like they were counting on you holding back, not, going and hiding in your hole and never coming out again or whatever. But I feel like it's time for this truth, this deceit to come out. And that's why Judgment is here. What else, Spirit? Five of Wands, frictional conflict. What about that? Justice. So this person is under judgment, and I don't know if this is actual like spiritual court or this is like actual court, but I feel like it's time that this happened. And swords are the truth, right? So I feel like this is all going to come out. Whatever this person did to you, it's time that everybody knows. And I feel like this is not going to be a good situation for this person. Let's get one card from this deck. I mean, you're fierce, but you do it in such an angelic way, such a caring Queen of Cups way. And you end up with the Nine of Coins. So, can we get one more card? Five of Coins. What about that? Strength. I feel like this is where they wanted you. They wanted you abandoned, outcast, in isolation, struggling. I mean, strength has come out twice. What's the outcome, Spirit? Two of Cups, a new beginning for you with someone else. Possibly someone from the past. And perspective, the Hangman. So, letting go of the past, not letting it haunt you anymore. I mean, this person obviously did a lot, or people, or whoever the fuck these people are. And remember, this could be past, present, or future, and this could be, you know, like I said, if it resonates, great, but if it doesn't, then it's not your reading. I hate even saying that, but here we are. All right. So we got Pisces, we got beautiful, we got beautiful twice. We got 2 stars, we got a cat, a Virgo, a Libra, a Forever, Aquarius, a flower, a moon, and a cross. Let's get some letters. All right, so we got G, I, O, J, T, D, V, N, C, V, X. So I don't know who this is for. Like, I don't know why this person is determined on, like, just treating you like crap. Like, here's my opinion on that, right? Like, if you don't want somebody in your life, just leave them behind you and take them out of your mouth. Like, stop talking about them. You don't need to continue to, you know, pillage their village. Like, just shut the fuck up, people. Okay, on that note, I'm gonna go eat my dinner, but I want you guys to know I appreciate you so much. I love you so much. I'm just so excited that we are getting the right people on the channel, and you know, I love doing these readings for you, so I just want you to know how much I appreciate you, and I will be on in the next couple days to do a reading, but until then, you know, just keep being your great self, and you know, let the haters hate, because they're going to anyway, and you just go on being your fabulous Queen of Cups self. So I love you so much. I will see you soon. Bye.